Hi, so don't get put off by the game looking questionable. I have a good eye for these things. I'm pretty sure it's fun. 90% sure it's very fun. 90% sure it's gonna be content. Why do I see a naked man? You see a what? What the fuck does he mean he sees a naked man? No, you don't see a naked man. Half naked. You don't see me? There's no way you see me. That cannot be. You're scaring me, man. There's literally no way you see me right now. There is no camera anywhere. Do I have to cover myself? Your wallpaper. Oh! What the fuck is a horny jump? Is that supposed to be a Hassan emote? Oh my fucking god, Hassan viewer, go away. Okay. I shall replay the tutorial because I'm assuming you guys didn't watch the tutorial that I played. Haha. Okay. Welcome to Bad End Theater. On this stage we shall be toying with fate, Bat Chest. You will make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events, Bat Chest. But first allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. I shall choose the Human. You control the Human doll. You're a friendly little guy, just minding your own business. I saw it, I thought it was Undertale. I know, right? How will you interact with the Demon doll? Attack it. You kill the Demon doll in cold blood. How ruthless. You found your very first bad ending. But don't worry, the story need not end here. Let's reset the stage and try again. This time try controlling the other doll. You are the Demon doll. You control the Demon doll. You're a fierce looking guy just minding your own business. How will you interact with the Human doll? Attack it. You both attack each other at once and achieve the worst possible outcome. What an excellent bad ending, made possible by your decisions. You'll do well in this theater. Now that you know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. Already lost. Okay, dude. So that's how the game works, basically. I assume you guys understand. I'm assuming. The game is still too fucking loud. My god. I clicked on the wrong thing. My fucking god. That's better. So that's how it goes. You choose how, how one character will behave. Then you choose how another character will behave. And this is as far as I have played. Now I choose. Do I go for the hero, the maiden, the underling, or the overlord? Which character's story do I play first? I am thinking that they interact with each other. And I am assuming starting with the hero is a good idea. So I shall start with the hero. You're the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Back chest. Your life has been rather ordinary. Aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. Very ordinary. I'm not playing the maiden first. The maiden sounds very weird. I'm obviously not playing it first. And I think these characters are gonna interact with each other. For example, I save the maiden with the hero, and then I get to choose with the maiden whether I makes the hero or whether I makes a fucking goblin or something, I thought each of us get our own character. Wait, what? That's not such a bad idea. We could do that. We could each, make choices with our own character. But first, let me figure it out. We all get to make choices with the hero first. Maiden Hisuivro. I don't think so, man. Your life has been rather ordinary aside from the... Okay, whatever. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. So he's horny and he's trying to save her. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. True. You're happy to protect the townspeople though? You were born to play this role. Pat chest. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden, but demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. And this is the first choice. What are we choosing? You two give your own choice, and after that I give my choice, and whichever gets the most votes wins, You get the idea, haha, funny. Make a choice, fast. Don't stall the stream. Okay, what's the other person going to say? We are fleeing! Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. Ratul RP. But you can't return home now, your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. We usually fight a slime, okay. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all, this is your job. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You're faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. Hey, Booba. There's a small outline of Booba there, I guess. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Now, which one are we choosing? Cut through the demon army or ask if they let you in? Are we trying to fight these menacing monsters who will probably roll us? Or are we, asking politely? Say please. Please, my good sir. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down and you feel very uncomfortable. This is the plot to a doujin right now. But they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. Pacifist route. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever. At least that she knows of. You think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, saying as she's a demon and all, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless hero. What the fuck? Now schmecks her. Top 10. Useless hero end. Reset the stage. Diplomatic. Prefers not to solve things through violence. We shall play the maiden now. Actually, no, let's take a vote. Which one do we play? Since we're going the democracy route over here in this stream. They locked, man. No, they're not locked. You can play them. Like, the thing that's locked is I am assuming how they interact with other characters. For example, after I played hero, I unlocked diplomatic. So if I have a diplomatic hero, then the other characters will interact with the diplomatic hero that way. I'm assuming. Overlord, yeah, dude. To be honest, I shouldn't be waiting for Anindubhai's opinion here because I'm going for Overlord anyway because Overlord is my vote as well. So we pick Overlord. Oh my god, I'm horny! You are the Overlord, you live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Kashi. I think this would be very cushy as well. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called hero whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing. If you're being quite honest with yourself, you don't really understand the politics of it. Weird jump, she's 12. Chat, she's a fetus. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil overlord they expect. Okay. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that. Okay. Why do we have a liberal overlord? One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. Is this a hentai protag? Is this a shota? They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Grant them the day off, tell them to get back to work. Which one are we choosing? Day off. Alright, that's one vote to day off. One. I am assuming you mean the first choice, which is tell them to get back to work, which is to say, you know, the fucking communist way! It's the communist GC! This motherfucker must work! Exactly, slaves don't get days off! You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Sar, demon lord. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice and comfy overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. You fall asleep pretty quick. Just another one of your amazing talents as the overlord. You're awakened by one of your underlings. They've brought you a hero who inquires about a missing maiden. Okay, so this is how I'm interacting with what previously happened, you know, with the hero playing the pacifist route. You tell him you don't know anything. Humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home to your surprise. You figured he might try to fight you, but you're glad to get back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something completely unexpected. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. This fucking cunt. You try to struggle, but you can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You curse at them, choking on your own blood. You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Assassinated overlord and okay, dude. What do we play now? Two two two. 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 Underling to schmecks. Okay. You are a demon underling in service of the overlord and also a Shota apparently. Also a Shota who murders the person you're supposed to be schmexing. Maybe he's a necrophiliac, who knows. You aren't particularly strong but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. That's unfortunate. Top 10 musician wannabe Eden. I was making the 222 thingy because, that was in, one of Eminem's albums. What was it? The Eminem Show, I think? That was the album? Yeah. It was in the start of one of those albums, yeah. Yeah. One of the many Eminem albums, yeah. Back Again, I think the song was. Here I Am Back Again or something like that. I don't fucking remember. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the overlord to your friends. What a fucking bitch. Not the overlord, him, this fucking Shota cunt. They agree that she's kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. So, which one are we choosing? Are we overthrowing her or are we not? What was the Eminem album? Overthrow and schmecks. I'm pretty sure overthrow leads to an actual assassination like we just saw. People riot overthrow. Give me a second. This was the one, right? It was not, but there is an album which starts that way. Okay. We're overthrowing her. No, you're sick of this overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new overlord. You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed. You assure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. Every fucking encounter in this game so far has been a fucking dojin plot. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. Oh. Are we gobbling her up or telling her to quit yelling? Actually, a dojin. This could be a schmeck's game. Megalul with peach. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought and feel quite proud of that. This dojin isn't going with the way I expected it to go. He's gobbling. He's quite literally gobbling her up. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. Okay. This fucking guy. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. Okay. Are we putting on a show or are we changing our minds and leaving? Mega lul route. Put up a show. You attack the nearest human. He's old and weak and his bones crunch delightfully. Megalul route. Your audience's screams grow louder. Applause. You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. What the fuck is he taking revenge for? What they do to him? As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. Weird. He takes you out in one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think that was totally worth it. The curtain closes. Performer underling end. Hungry and disloyal. Eats the maiden immediately. Now what do we play? I assume the maiden is the only one left, I guess. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. So you're... Is this supposed to be the Pokemon route? You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. You think of how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity. Who knows? You are in church, you pray to your god, asking why you have been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. Just get her killed, man. I know, right? That does seem to be the plan at this rate. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. She's fucking horny! Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were to just hurry up and get captured already. She's horny! You leave a note and venture forth to find the demon, just to, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Shout for a hero to come save you. Introduce yourself. I feel like this doesn't really. I feel like it doesn't matter what she does because this fucking guy is hungry right now. So she's gonna fucking try to kill her either way. But still, what do we choose? Any choosers? Introduce like a gentleman would, but she's a woman. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting a lot. How painful. This plan of yours was completely stupid. You think, why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? Sag. You aren't angry or anything. Of course, this was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. Sag. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Sag. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. This is so sad. Can we have F in the chat? She's not a woman, she's a maiden. Ah, sure. Okay, no. Consumed maiden end. For later use. Wait, did I not save? Okay, this is where I make a, a fucking executive decision and decide to go dutiful route with hero. You are the hero, you like to think of yourself as a blah blah blah. I shall choose the thing we didn't choose before. Bravely slaughter the evil creatures. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There is no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Cut through the demon army. You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. He's a fucking maniac. He's a psychopath. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance. What did I just... Okay. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can see only one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. God, I fucking hate this guy. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. Ah, he's just fucking horned, this stupid cunt. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amongst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. Fucking existential crisis, and you just jump from the fucking roof, you stupid cunt. Return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Failed hero end. She's not a woman. Okay, okay. Exit the stage. I accidentally exit. Cool. Let's see. Um, let's try the underling again and try to get, you know, try to be try to interact with a polite maiden, you know. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. She doesn't need to be polite. Let's just see what happens if the underling doesn't, you know, instantly eat her. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she started talking to you like your friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you. Because why is there conveniently only one language in the world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them to each have their own language? The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. What the fuck is wrong with her? Wait, she's straight up going to the Overlord right now? She's so horny. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. The Overlord asks where you found this maiden, knowing full well that you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you may be forgiven. The Overlord nods and says everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. You're impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mention how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. She gives you a look and you say, that was just a joke, of course. She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's about time for a nap. Also, he said, okay, weird. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. Hey, the hero is coming in to save her. You emerge from your room to find that the hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. Avenge your fallen comrades, save yourselves. Which one? Fallen comrades. Who does this guy think he is, coming in here and killing everyone like some maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard who sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed you were feeling kinda down. Okay, this is getting pretty fucking sad. You like that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. It tastes like iron. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through you, but there is no pain, only retribution. More of your combats pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero is overtaking your army has won. You have earned your rest. Victorious underling end. Pog you. Okay, so let's play the maiden part with the underling not being weird, you know, not just eating her instantly. Tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them that you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have really been listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. So it's ADHD Shota demon. Interesting. After a long walk to the castle, you are introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. Question mark. Turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. Wait. She's a full head taller than her. Oh my god, I'm about to come. What the fuck? You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out and something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying and talking with her more. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude, you just got here. Obey her or refuse to leave. Weird jump, the maiden is 8. Okay, but I'm talking about the Overlord, man. The Overlord is a full head taller than the maiden, man. I'm so horny right now. And what are we choosing? Are we being obedient or are we refusing? Refuse? What about the other one? What does the other one think? Rec X. I'm assuming that means refuse. I guess we're not obeying her. I was gonna obey her, but never mind. You put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny even if you have to make it happen on your own. She's a little frustrated at your stubbornness but doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray. The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize they might not be the ruthless monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you'd never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You've always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. You may be different, but really they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. This is turning into liberal propaganda. Fuck you. But maybe everything I've said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be a super evil all along? I would be even more horny. Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. Pepe laughs, she doesn't know. But then a hero barges into the room. I knew this was coming. His clothes are stained by a dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you are never in any danger. The Overlord has walked past the hero and out into the hall. She's wailing. You can only guess what kind of horrible scene he's left for her. The Overlord tears the hero apart in retaliation. You are silently unable to scream. The Overlord, who you had just been getting along with so well, has killed another human right in front of you. It's clear now that you had been deceived by her sweet words. Demons are ruthless monsters after all. You somehow manage to slip past the Overlord and make it out of the blood-soaked castle. You never look back. Escaped maiden and A. So there's multiple escaped maiden routes. Okay, cool. Gonna make the hero not dutiful. Now I'm gonna play the maiden route again. See how it goes this time. Or you think that as you think that a hero enters the room, you're surprised to see him at first until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Or he's diplomatic hero. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you are never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really didn't anyone read the note you left, jeez? The hero asks if you'll return to the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The overlord allows the two of you to leave and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon. You're about halfway back to the village when you feel something is off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder. To stop in your tracks, the castle is engulfed in flames. Is the overlord alright? You can't return to the village like this, you have to know. You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fist against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick, you can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself, but the fire spread faster than you expected. If you won't make it outside, you can't help but laugh for the joke made in saving the overlord. If you'd stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Selfless maiden and B. Sag. Now, let's see what happens when the maiden is obedient. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. Don't you know the overlord's castle is like right there? You explain everything that happened. The hero seems to think you're lying to him. He asks if you've been brainwashed by the demons. What nerve? You are very upset that this so-called hero would treat you this way and leave in a huff. You return to the village alone. Everyone is very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions and you tell them your story. As you explain that the overlord never had any intentions to harm anyone here, you notice the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. She's about to get burned on a stake as a witch. You are loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand, you've only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask. You could not have possibly escaped the overlord on your own without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be, so they say. Have the people of your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatred of things they've never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. Continues to be liberal propaganda. You are seized by the crowd and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You are to be burned at the stake. I fucking knew it. Witch trial. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You have always lived honestly, so why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so sorry. Executed maiden end. Let's see. Let's do polite maiden with hero, so that hero can actually get to the maiden. Pog you. We'll do dutiful later. First we do coward. I fucked up. Tola and Mary seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Heroic destroy the overlord or ask the maiden what's going on. Since I'm gaming right now, I will not be, going for a choice, because right now I'm gonna just go through everything that I can do first with the hero. So, ask the maiden what's going on, I guess. The maiden explains that she was never actually captured and that she came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. The overlord allows the two of you to leave when you casually exit the castle. You try to make conversation with the maiden, but she's been pretty quiet since leaving the overlord's room. Is she shy? She suddenly stops in her tracks and you turn your head to ask what the deal is. Oh, the overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. You can't help but feel relieved you got the maiden out of there when you did. But she suddenly takes off toward the burning castle. Panic sets in and you follow to try to stop her. The smoke is so thick you've already lost sight of her. But if she thinking it's too dangerous to continue, if you hopefully stand alone at the castle gate, your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No going in there would be impossible. Would be suicide. You return to the village and there's nothing you could do. You are too late, the maiden was screamed by the demons. Bystander hero. Heroic tries to kill the overlord. Cool. Let's see. Let's kill the overlord this time. You can't sense anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. There is no time to hesitate. Ask the maiden what's going on. We know what happens there. But let's get the ending. She explains that you all look at each other in surprise and confusion. Okay. She explains that she came here on her own and was never in any danger. She hesitantly asks why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The overlord moves past you and out the door. To see her army in lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing, it's horrible. This is your chance, hero. Stab the overlord while you can. This is all just a big misunderstanding. You hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try, but the overlord is inconsolable. She tears you apart and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, you can't help but think you probably deserved this. You did. You deserved tragic hero end. We set the stage. 11 endings. Destroy the overlord. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil overlord. She screams and falls silent. The overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. Holy! The audacity! She takes it after slight hesitation. She must be surprised at how strong you are. She's about to stab you, my man. You escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. You're about to die. The villagers are very pleased with the good job you've done slaying the overlord and saving a hostage. They throw a huge celebration in your name. I still feel like the maiden is about to stab him. You are remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. Triumphant hero and weird, he didn't get stabbed. Stab the overlord while you can. Right now I'm just trying to get all the endings. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil overlord. She screams and falls silent. The overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. Oh, it's the exact same thing, cool. Fuck. I realize I fucked up, cool. Now we see this side. Oh, it's again triumphant hero, cool. Okay, so let's try polite maiden, diplomatic hero, and overlord. Tyrant. You awake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. You thought you told that underling to do their job, not drag strangers into your room. Looks like they took an unauthorized breakaway from the castle. You scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in this guest, so you let them off easy. That underling's not so bad. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. Question mark. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Tell her she'd better go home. Antisocial, let her stay for a while. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. You are glad she seems to have an open mind about these kind of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans as not to agitate them and get heroes sent out after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed, blah blah blah. You've always thought of humans as to be violent and unreasonable, true. That's why your servants are always getting killed despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time and that you are actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured, not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything he has explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her not to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Positive, keep her here or let them go. Let them go. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that, you decide. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now is this loneliness. You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while until your door slams shut. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed in flames. What's going on? Try to escape, but something's knocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle will they rule from if this one burns? You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. That's ungrateful bastards. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Burned Overlord End. Let's see what happens if she's antisocial. Love to have all the conversations in the world with your friend, but having him in Gold Hill will definitely cause you trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost, but the maiden turns out to be very stubborn. You don't want to hurt her, but you also really want her to leave in case something bad happens. This whole situation is just asking for trouble, you think. Against your better judgment, you let her hang out for a little while longer. Wait, was there anything different back there? Or there was not. Let's go for possessive. Keep her here. The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened and you don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step toward the maiden and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Yahan, the Sailfish Overlord End. Let's see. What about polite, obedient maiden? What happens with the hero? Is maiden still there? Maiden is obedient. Tells the maiden to leave. Antisocial. I missed all of that. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back toward the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is like right there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. Believe her story or that she can't be trusted. Okay, that's death. But sure. I'm sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life that demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about all this, but she gets very upset that you think she would lie to you. She storms off before she can say anything else. You said to return to the village, and she must have been the kidnapped maiden you're sent to rescue. Glad that took care of itself. You take your time walking home. Job well done today, you think to yourself. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. True. She seemed nice though, you think. But evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. What a fucking cunt. It's said to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Spectator, hero, and day. Reset the stage. 15 ends. Believe her story. You have no reason to assume she is lying to you. Even though her story is kind of hard to believe, you feel you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. He's gonna be burned in a stake with her. The two of you return to the village. They had all been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she aimed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them it isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle in how little they trust this maiden's story. Totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you must volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately and says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. You miss something. You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running, or you thought the two of you were in on this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her demon friends down already, but that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. Can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. Valiantly dash after the maiden, heading toward the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter deep into demon territory. Evil miasma? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she stopped in her tracks. The Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You had only taken an eye of the maiden for a second, but she's already disappeared. You could close the castle with phone to now. Think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking her life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the village at 7 minutes. To wait by the demons. Bystander hero ending A. Okay. Is that another end? It is not. Cool. Trusting. Let's play the underling with a tyrant overlord. Yeah. Diplomatic hero as well. Not a very polite maiden though. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but you're not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Okay, whatever. Yeah, this is the one I'm going for right now. hear her out. You're in a good mood today and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would even possible to understand each other before now. The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Okay. You don't get to sleep long, your friends wake you up. Rude. Okay. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current overlord and put a new ruler in place. Cool, that's how the overlord dies. They want to hear if you're in or out, and being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble, how about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. Okay, let's kill the overlord. It's loyal, she's actually not so bad, you guys dead. Let's go for death first. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you can ask what they're sorry about, dead. One of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the overlord really has no place in our castle, you understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle, you're outnumbered, you already know how things like this end. This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. Cool. Faithful underling end. Reset the stage. She's surprisingly cool with it. Nice. Pog. Set out on your adventure outside the castle. As you make your way around the bottles and the villages, you encounter a maiden. Okay, disloyal. Totally in it to win it. They say you are always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the overlord, you know how bad it would be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of fox confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. Hey, Booba. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they just lock her in a room and set it on fire. With a stupid plan, they could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs. You search out someone's guidance. Your guidance. Top 10 new overlord. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on, and well, showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun. It's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and says that you played the assassin. You really didn't want to come down to this. But you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle. Are they headed into the overlord's room? Fuck. The overlord will kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry that it was all your idea and that they were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse a crazy plan. You can't believe they tell the overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shout at each other until the overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place. Crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep you doubt her strength. You hear your traitorous friends mutter something about going back to plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the overlord and the two humans. And then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, wanting to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd get that chance. The overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You are forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. But the overlord doesn't hear you. Please, she drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Cool. Traitor underling and reset the stage. Tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the overlord sure is great. Now stop trying to get every single end and then try to get the true end or whatever. I go sleep, okay. You awake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. You've almost. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You've almost fallen asleep when the maiden and hero bursts into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised how nice of the humans you care, though. One of your enemies barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. And shouting away, it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no time to punish everyone, to keep you all in your place. Push me with my heel. Saying that made you feel very overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Let you all do is sleep. The group of demons started muttering something about going back to Plan A and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. The whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. This is how you'll die. Burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. This is the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. Wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration, you don't even notice that you've got the mystery is going on. You cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this spot knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. You cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. Take retribution, forgive them. First forget the ending. Pierce the chest with your claws, they scream. The hero backs away, he is wise not to interfere. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. Doesn't make you feel any better. The underlings corresponds along with you and the two humans. spiteful overlord and reset the stage. Like if she stays, then it's just gonna be the same ending again. Never mind. Forgive them. Lisa unrelenting them won't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. We'll all burn together. Overlord's true end. Interesting. Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself. What was the point of all my effort if the true ending is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad and theater. Fog you. Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you should have been all aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point you grew attached to my little cast. Started to relate to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for their happiness. But you aren't going to find that here in my theater, my lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. Just to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. Alright. You should rather see you suffer instead looking around you, which has gone from one dead end to another. Maiden is crying, the hero is silent. You'll all burn together. Underling's true end. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? Wonder what will happen when you correct them all. Will you give it to despair or reset the stage? You back soon near the castle's entrance. You spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? Demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You have to take off into the castle and the reliable hero follows shortly after. Burst in the overlord's room. Overlord's spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised they were a part of this evil plot. They seemed so nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first Underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You are relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she's very overly like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. What has it pounded on the door in distress? Have they locked you all in? Do you have a bad feeling about this thing that must have changed it? Because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. Shut this pretended not to hear them if you left as you were told until the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. Think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. If it must exist, it simply must. Overlord is an underling build for their life. Pray, you don't know what else to do, so you just pray. Overlord prayers the underlings feel relieved, but does it make any difference? Will you all burn together? True end? True end. Bob. Talking about this in the Overlord. The same creatures have just noticed you dropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. Bursting the Overlord's room, the maiden frantically tries to communicate what she just overheard. Demon unrolling bites his next, calling the liars. It's swallowed by the group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back onto the little one. And these demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She's telling them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your soul tightly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this image in the whole imagine thing. What kind of a demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. She's going to kill it as retribution. It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Our demons capable of mercy. Guess it doesn't matter now. We'll all burn together. Hero's true end. I guess the maiden true end gives you a new path. Want to answer the maiden's prayers. You decided to find a way to save everyone, but retracing the past is soon so far, you seem to be willing to avoid a bad ending. There's really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end. There's nothing you can do by acting from within their story. It's time to take things into your own hands. Monka W. The Overlord is burning. The Underling is burning. The Maiden is burning. The hero is burning. You boldly insert yourself into the studio and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. You know you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't look like it represent you, but you must move past it. The hero, Maiden, Underling, and Overlord have been staring at you too. You look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. Guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. But what will you say to them? Hi guys. Smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. Maiden is the first to respond. Prayers have been answered. You must be her god. No, you're merely the player. Top 10. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story? How? Now please. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way into the stage, could you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me tragedy if you'd like. Darkness envelopes your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You're alone in the darkness with me, tragedy. Sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. I want to see something new. Are you trying to say my bad endings have gone out of style? You have some nerve. I think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending. Fit all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight God. Top 10. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do while you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Defend. Try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Wait, let me try that attack again. Defend. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Perhaps you don't understand this, how close you are here. Behold my beautifully tragic trails. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You've witnessed only two of my pages thinking with crafted endings. Your heart does indeed for these characters. How could you want to put an end to all this? You truly care for them that much? They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right, you came here to save them. Can't do this alone. You find the hero in his own hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that you're not a demon. How can you explain it? Whether he can understand instead you ask what he's doing. Oh, this I craft on my own hero gear. Top 10. Since his pride in his hobby, he wondered if your costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. You like some clothes, you don't seem to be wearing any. However, the state of his mind and decide that yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He's overjoyed by your answer. Really is opposite to body for the terms. Focus on one who wants them. Trend for the hero suddenly becomes clear. He offered to change his fate. Could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero. Please tell me what I can do to reach that dream. I will now fight alongside you. I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. Heroes arrived, really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. Someone who's been killing us, murderer. Can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Sagittarius with terrible fate. This is getting very bad. Just I'll stop even reading this shit. I'll just try to finish the game now. Bat chest. Did I get the wrong? Did I get the right combination first try? Oh, shot. Hey, game is over, Pog. So he became a comedian. Demon is suddenly friends with the elder. Maiden helped Demon be friends with the elder. And these two are suddenly okay, fucking lip tard. Top 10. Tragedy is death. This is so sad. Your true end for sure. Exit the theater. Well, this was fun. Kind of fun, I guess. Expected a little more. But still, not bad. Not